unfortunately, the season ended for the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott took some heat earlier this week after endorsing fans throwing trash towards the officials at the end of the Cowboys' loss, saying, quote, credit to them. But yesterday, the QB tweeted an apology for that statement, writing, I was caught up in the motion of the disappointing loss, and my words were uncalled for and unfair. That was a mistake on my behalf, and I am sorry. So, Shannon, how much did all of this tarnish, his reputation in your eyes?
I don't think it will have the impact on his reputation. Skip, I get it that there will be some that will be skeptical of the apology and the timing of the apology. Did someone get in his ear? Is this Dak sincerely apologizing? Or was this one of his representatives getting to him and saying, Dak, this is what you need to do? Skip, this is why I thought Sunday would be a great opportunity, because time wouldn't have elapsed. Someone couldn't have come, maybe the NFL Referee Association or the NFL said something. Dak could have gotten ahead of it, and then maybe people will, because Skip, you know there's going to be some skepticism with any apology. But this is what I tell my kids and what I've always told my kids about an apology. The sincerest form of an apology is to not repeat said behavior. See, you can tell me you're sorry for doing something or saying something, and if you don't do it again, I believe you were sincere in that. But if you repeat said behavior, you were never sincere in your apology to begin with. Skip, I believe Dak Prescott in his 5.5 years, or it's better than 5 years, in Dallas, has built up a lot of goodwill. Skip, the man is Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. That has to mean something. The reason why you and I feel comfortable speaking for it, and I say you and I, is because, like, Dak said that. Not the Dak, come on. This don't sound like Dak, really? Because it seems so far out of character for someone like Dak. Hearing him talk, knowing his story of what he's gone through with his mom, with his brother, and some of the things that he's had to deal with, this seems so far out of character for him that it caught me off guard. And maybe, and I think that's why I came down so harsh on him, knowing or feeling comfortable thinking that I know him a little bit, but knowing you're the face of an organization, you're the quarterback. I don't care, Skip, if there was 25 seconds and the referee was walking and you didn't you can never condone what those fans were doing, regardless of how upset you got. So for me, Skip, because it's Dak and because of the goodwill that he's built up in the community, I don't think it's going to have the impact that it would have had if people looked at Dak as being a jerk. Now, had Aaron Rodgers said that? Oh, because people have a different perception of him than they do Dak. Although he's a better player, I think people think Dak is a better person than Aaron Rodgers. So for me, Skip, I don't believe it's going to have the impact on Dak, given the goodwill that he's built up. And I believe this is a one-off. This is an isolated incident.
I hope you are right. But Shannon, in the end, when it comes to my quarterback and my team that I've been lifelong diehard rooting for since I was 10 years old, I can only express my sentiment right now. I lost a little respect for Dak.
Yeah.
And yet, when I look at the whole year, I think I was starting to lose bits and pieces of respect for Dak, the way he handled his post-game interviews or his midweek interviews all season long. He changed. It was different after he got paid. He got his $75 million this year, counting the bonus. And I don't know how many times when Dak didn't play up to $75 million that I just wanted him to own it just one time, like you would have,
right?
And just say, hey, I stunk, whatever. I didn't play well. I have to play better.
Yes.
It's on me to play better.
Yes.
Because we kept going back and forth. Is he in a slump? Well, yeah, he's in a slump. Even Jerry finally acknowledged, yeah, he's in a slump. How could you not acknowledge it? And yet Dak got defensive with the media. He got combative with the media. And I think this was the final fallout of that he just was so defensive after the game about the loss that he lashed out in ways that were so uncharacteristic of him, even given the chance to retract. He had a second chance in the postgame. Are you sure that's what you... Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. And that coupled with the belated response, because it was belated. It was almost 2 full days.
Yes.
And I do believe it took the NBA Referees Association coming down on Dak, which could have triggered the NFL referees almost being forced to make a similar statement. I think Dak finally said, whoa, I got to try to put a halt to this. So now back to your bigger issue point, Shannon. He had built up so much goodwill because you want to talk about a sympathetic figure in Cowboy Nation. He suffered a career-threatening injury, obviously. He had already suffered and did suffer again personal, unthinkable tragedies, losing not only his mother, but his brother. And he had suffered through a protracted, what became an endless, bitter negotiation with Jerry Jones that seemed to drag on for the most part of 2 years. And it made Dak more and more sympathetic because Jerry is such an easy target in any negotiation. He's a yacht-owning billionaire. He owns the most valuable franchise in all of sports. And he's trying to hold Dak's feet to the fire over a contract. And it was easy to jump on Dak's side, and it was easy to scream, pay the man, Jerry. And finally, Jerry was backed up against the psychological wall, and he crumbled, and he got taken to the bank and to the cleaners all at once by Dak Prescott. And then, as I told you yesterday, it's be careful what you wish for. It can be money is the root of all evil, or at least the love of money. And in this case, man, he didn't just get paid. He got paid the way nobody's ever gotten paid. And I think it was hard for him to live up to that. And I think in ways he crumbled under the burden of that down the stretch of the season and in that playoff game. And then that almost forced him into a position of overreacting after the game because you got to blame, you got to deflect, you got to blame the referees. The fans blamed him, so I blame him. Way to go, fans. Credit to the fans, said Dak Prescott. And it was so outrageously out of bounds that we were both just taken aback on Monday's show, dumbfounded that Dak Prescott would endorse fan violence against referees. You're kidding. Okay, so all that said, go ahead.
Skip, let me tell you, what about this, Skip? You see what he did Sunday is what he's been doing all season long. When he's played bad, he's never accepted responsibility. He's placed the blame on someone else. I'm not in a slump. As opposed to saying, I played bad, I need to play better. He did the exact same Sunday. He did the thing Sunday, what he had been doing. He had looking to skirt and place blame on someone else instead of saying, you know what, guys, we didn't get it done today. Me as the leader of this team, me, the leader of this offense, I need to play better. If I play better, we win the game. But the easy thing to do, the low-hanging fruit, was the official because what, Skip? That was the last thing the fans will remember. They done forgot all about the Randy Gregory holdings. They done forgot all the time that Lyle Collins started false start and cost them a first down. The last thing they saw was an official saying, well, he didn't spot the ball. He took the ball out of Biota's hands. Well, he ran over Dak. That's the last thing the fans remember. So, So now, Skip, if I just say, you know what, fans, you right. That's why y'all should have did that. Instead of saying, you know what, the fans, you were wrong. You never do that. That's on me. I need to play better. We have a great, you look at what we have collectively as a unit, and we didn't get it done today, guys. And next year, I'll make sure that if we get back in this situation again, that won't happen again. That's how he should have handled it, Skip, as opposed to looking to place the blame on someone else.
I hope you're right about growing pains, but he's getting up into middle age of an NFL quarterback, and he just should have known better, and hopefully going forward he does.
Yeah, but Skip, some
clearly
things you
the
just
emotion
know.
of the
And
loss.
Dak has always been a leader. Some things you just know.
Yeah.
Skip, I was never the quarterback, but I knew even in college and as I got up through the ranks, I know things that I could and couldn't say because obviously the better player you are, your words carry more weight. And then people going to be looking at you, oh, you blaming me for the loss? Or you doing this? Because then, Skip, people start looking when you play bad. Oh, I wonder if he going to mention how bad he actually played when he was quick to point out how poorly I played.
I always give athletes a lot of credit because it is not easy to have all the right words in every moment, win or lose. Look, he made a mistake. He owned it and he apologized. Obviously the right move from Dak. Tom Brady, he's had plenty of years talking to the media and experience in that